Well, welcome back everyone to Boggy Bottom Zoo. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful day so far. We are finally at the tail end of this series, and I could not be more excited. I do apologize right off the bat. I didn't get the chance to record the starting of this build. I thought I hit record. I very clearly didn't, but I made sure to notice that right off the bat and make sure that I was able to show you guys what I'm working on over here. And today we are working on Boggy Burgers. I know, such an appetizing name. I thought it would be kind of funny nonetheless. But today we are working on our little restaurant for our Wetlands Pack Zoo. Essentially what this will be is just a nice little burger shop. This kind of goes hand in hand with our last episode of Zoo Heist. And we're using the blueprints that we actually got from there to decorate this restaurant. So I need to give a huge shout out right off the bat to not only Zekin, but also Haribo and Christina ZZ, because they are some wonderful creators. You guys absolutely need to check them out. They did some of the most beautiful tiny piece work that I can never do myself, but it turns out to be some of the most useful pieces ever. By the way, in case if you guys have not already checked that out, we do have a new series on the channel that I'm kind of working on. It's called Zoo Heist. We essentially just go into different zoos, different blueprints, and kind of pick and choose some of the best looking things in the zoo that we could really make use of. And I really think it's going to be such a fun little series, and I hope you guys play along too. You guys download those blueprints, download stuff that you think you might be able to dissect and stuff. That's essentially it. Now, making our way throughout here, I really want to have this be a nice, beautiful centerpiece for our zoo that you could kind of see from all angles. And because of that, I'm working on this kind of tower, if that makes sense. So we kind of have this be standing up in the middle of our park, and it looks so nice from afar, just because of the bright colors that we kind of have over here. It's kind of cheeky coming into play with how the logo of this zoo is a platypus, and then this kind of looks like Perry the Platypus's color scheme. I don't know, plus I always do love that blue, that teal and orange kind of combination of colors. I think that always is such a classy look, and I'm so happy that I was able to kind of manage that over here. Also doing some funky stuff with the rustic stone down below to give it a nice little trim, and it all comes out looking very nice in the end. And another thing I want to do is kind of clean up this roof a little bit, because this is a bit of a irregular shape. I really wanted to make sure that it all looks nice, it all looks even, and we kind of work with that later down the line once we actually do some interior work. I do a bunch of different things in here, learn how to use blueprints to my advantage. It's all very much fun, and the best part about this is that it is a functional restaurant. I just actually need to go in and add the tables in here, but I think I could do that before the next episode, which will be for the Japanese macaques. I'm very nervous to actually build for those guys, because it is quite a little bit of a daunting habitat to actually take on. But once we do get that all settled and done, I think we'll be swimming ahead very, very finely. But making our way throughout here and just decorating the exterior of here. I really haven't had any dead zones in between habitats just yet, just because I really have been so inspired to actually build for most of these animals that I really just want to pop in and build for them as much as possible, kind of filling up every single small crevice and corner with these dead spaces. But I was finally able to do a couple external pools and stuff like that, kind of like what we had near the entrance, and kind of play around with that stuff. I don't really know. It's kind of fun to do that. Also working on that trim over there, making sure that it all lines up nicely, and using these little menus. So this would kind of be a place where, a waiter would come to greet you, they'd get you food, yada yada. Not really a quick service kind of restaurant. I'm not really a big fan of those. I really want to have this place be nice and kind of formal. Maybe you could pop over here, get a brewski, then head over to the Crocoseum and cheer on your favorite crocodile to eat your favorite TV star or something. I don't really know. Either way, making our way throughout here and adding some water lilies and stuff like that, just as a way to brighten up the area and bring a little bit more life into those ponds. Ideally, if we did have if we did have say for example, ducks in Planet Zoo. I would have those in the pond right there, but I didn't want to use blueprint ducks. Really wasn't feeling that kind of stuff, but either way, that's totally fine. Making our way throughout here and adding some lighting as well. Very much love these. I took these from Zekin's, I forget what he actually called the blueprint. It's in Zoo Heist, trust me. But taking these from his blueprint over there, and they were so beautiful. They also lighten up a room so much. I'm so happy with them. And also adding some decorations up here, some nice pots and pots and sacks and stuff like that, just as a way to help it feel a little bit more natural. This would kind of be like a very humbly decorated place with a bunch of plants and stuff like that, and plants in the planters. Why not, you know? Also using that beautiful color combination of the nice orange and blue, just to have it feel a little bit nicer, a little bit more colorful, if that makes sense. I should probably go back in here and actually add some paintings and stuff like that, because I feel like that's something that this restaurant is kind of lacking. There needs to be some stuff on the walls and whatnot, just as a way to help it feel a little bit more brighter. Making our way throughout here as well, just adding some more walls. I really wanted to add like a couple accent walls just to help it feel a little bit more distinct from itself. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how well it all came out in the end. Like, adding all these trims really goes a long way. When you do interiors, always do your best to add trims. I feel like that's such an important part in terms of trying to get that all to look nice in the end. And it does look very nice in the end, I must say myself. It looks so beautiful. I'm so happy with it. But yeah, just adding as many trims as possible really does help to sell the idea that, you know, this building serves a purpose. It does have like integrity in itself. And that purpose is to serve very overpriced greasy burgers to any patrons. But making our way throughout here, just trying to cover up these small unsightly areas, because I do want to make sure that all the places where the guests are able to access are accounted for and they do look good. I was trying to add some paths in here, and you can tell my game was lagging. This is on like 700 times speed. And it took a few seconds for the path to actually register, and I would have had to do that for literally every single like square path in there, which kind of sucks, but we do a custom path later. Everything is totally fine. I'm very happy and satisfied with how well it came out. And we're finally in the decoration stage. So we're adding a bunch of plants, potted plants. These are from the Macaw Cafe from Haribo, and they are so beautiful. These planters as well are from Zekin's coffee shop. I forget the name of it, Zekin. I'm so sorry. But adding a bunch of those, and the tiny planters as well, just as a way to help it feel a lot more lively. Maybe I could go in and do like a art piece, like an art shape burger or something. I'm not really sure. That'd be a kind of fun project to do someday, but I'm not entirely sure if I'll have it done for this build. Maybe down the line I could have them, but not really sure. We'll figure that all out when we actually do get to that point. But what we add throughout here is a little bit of a guest service desk. I just take one from the workshop, color it a little bit more brighter, and we add some like menus over here. Those would just be spares. And we also add some plants to kind of counter that a little bit more. And I also want to add a few rugs. I feel like this would be a place that has a lot more rugs. And I also wanted to add a big sign on the top. Make sure that you know you're coming to Boggy Burgers. So this is exactly what I have on the top. And I really do love, like, I would call this the meme format text. It's just bright white surrounded by black, and it just looks so clean. I don't really know, it just feels really nice, and I wanted to support it a little bit with these little rods over here. I think I used the bamboo pieces. There's nothing in that upstairs section right there, so I'm fine to just like have pieces kind of clip inside there as well. Also adding some windows just to help it feel like it's a lot more lively up there. Maybe you would have some upstairs seating or something like that, maybe something for like events or catering and stuff. But we kind of work with that right there. I want to add a little bit of a roof right there, but it really wasn't in the cards. I really wasn't sold on it. But making our way throughout here and adding the smaller details as well. Here, I was kind of like, okay, I want to change out the path, so let's try and look for some tiles and like, but I kind of settled on these bridge pieces. I never really use these, but these are some of my favorite pieces in the entire game. They're just so bright. I love their texture too. And they're just such useful pieces in the end of it. And I was trying to look for different ones, but I kind of settled on these. and I started to like overlap them a little bit. It gets a little bit jank in some pieces, in some parts rather, but I think that's totally fine. It doesn't look too out of place. It kind of clips into the restaurant, which I should be fixing relatively soon. I do gotta get back in there later today and actually build for the macaques. I want to get all the building done like relatively soon, so that'll be really awesome to have for all of you guys right there. Maybe I could even get it on the workshop within like the next 2 weeks. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty happy with this all and how it all came out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. We're kind of nearing the end of the speed build and we're about to enter the b-roll, so I do want to thank you guys on like this penultimate episode for all your support over this entire series. You guys have really dug this series. It's probably one of my best ones I've done so far, and it means the world to me to get all the support from you guys, so I really do appreciate it. I can't wait to see you guys in the finale in the next episode. Take care, and I hope you guys all have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Bye bye now.